Parshas Mishpatim. Instead of speaking on the Parshas Mishpatim this week, we'd like to speak about Purim and Megillas, Masechta Megillah, which says something very, very phenomenal. And this is a shmuz adapted from Moran Hagoyin, Reb Chaim Shmulevich, Zeichat Tzadik Levracha. The Gemara says that the Gemara Megillah in Daf Tesvav Amud Beis. The Gemara says on the pasuk in the Megillah that Esther invited Haman to the Suda to dine with Achashverosh and with Haman. She invited Haman to dine with her and Achashverosh. And the Gemara questions, for what reason did she invite Haman to that Suda? Her purpose of dining with Achashverosh was to convince him to save the Jews from Haman's evil decrees. And what did she need Haman for? The Gemara has a whole long list of different Tanoim and Amoraim that want to give reasons why Esther invited Haman. And the Gemara says that Rabbi Shimon ben Menashe Omer. Amar Rabbi Shimon ben Menashe. Rabbi Shimon ben Menashe said, She'omra Esther. Esther said, Ulai yargish hamokim v'yasa lonu nes. Maybe Hashem will feel for me and perform for us a miracle. That's the lesson of the Gemara. Rashi brings down two pshatim, and the second one says something so incredible that it's sort of hard to believe. As Reb Chaim Shmulevich explains it. The lesson of the Gemara, the language of the Gemara was what was just said, and the Art Scroll translates the wording of Rashi to be saying, Ulai yargish hamokom, perhaps Hashem will be sensitive that I have to demean myself. Shani tzricha lahachnif l'rosh hazeh, that I, Esther, have to demean myself by flattering this evil man. Which means to say, it apparently was not easy for Esther to sit at the same table as Haman, who is trying to destroy her people. And she had to demean herself. She had to zalzel b'chvoidi. She had to demean her honor to sit with this evil man. And Reb Chaim Zecher Tzaddik Livracha explains this to mean that there is a way for one person of Klal Yisroel to do something to save the entire Klal Yisroel. An incredible thing. Each one has within us, the ability to save the entire Klal Yisrael from all the tzaras. And the answer to be able to do this is what Esther did. Shviras hamidais. This is going against her grain to help Klal Yisrael. Not easy to sit with a Hitler on the table and to dine with him. And she did it all, and she went against her grain, as difficult as that was. This is Shviras Hamida, is going against her natural way and hurting herself and demeaning herself for the sake of helping Klal Yisrael. And this is really the secret of how each individual can save the entire Klal Yisrael. We'll try to explain a little bit more as we go on. And he calls this, Reb Chaim Shmulevitz Zecher Tzaddik Livracha, B'koyach shel shvira midah shel yochid, with the power of breaking a midah, which means going against his grain, going against the grain even of a yochid, of an individual, has the power to save the entire Klal Yisrael. Hashem will listen to the person that does this, and we'll try to explain a little bit more. And Reb Chaim continues, V'chozeh amarti, and I, Reb Chaim Shmulevitz Zecher Tzaddik Livracha, I said, when we were in the air raid shelters during the Six-Day War, where the situation was very, very, very difficult and bombs were falling on the building that we were in. And there was there an aguna. Aguna means a woman whose husband abandoned her. And there was there an aguna who said, Ribono Shel Olam, he overheard in the air raid shelter, he overheard her davening to Hashem, Ribono Shel Olam, I forgive my husband. For so many years he ran away, and I remained in aguna, and I forgive him now. The tremendous embarrassment that I had to suffer, that he caused me to suffer, ve'es hatzar hagodel shehoya li kol hazman, and all the pain and sorrows that I had because of I was alone. Ribono Shel Olam, I forgive him, and please, Ribono Shel Olam, you also, Afa Rachman, you're the merciful Father of Klal Yisrael. You also forgive us. And that was her prayer. Her prayer to Hashem is, I forgive my husband, and you forgive Klal Yisrael. And Reb Chaim Shmulevitz Zecher Tzaddik Livracha said that this going against her grain, this is Shviras Hamidais of this aguna, saved us more than the prayers of the Bnei HaYeshiva. All the Bnei Yeshiva were also there, and they were davening and screaming and they were saying Shema Yisroel and Hashem Hu Elokim. All this as great a thing as it was. But Shviras Hamidais, but going against the grain of this Yochid, of this Aguna, was greater and more reason for Hashem to have Rachmanis on Klal Yisrael. As I understood from Esther. Esther was subjected herself to dine with Haman in order, l'zalzel b'chvoidi, as Rashi says, to demean myself and to cheapen my honor, to have to sit with this Hitler. And Hashem, Ula Yargish Hamokim, perhaps Hashem will be sensitive to what I'm going through to save Klal Yisrael. Apparently, even though she brought this upon herself, but she suffered it. And she suffered it, and she went against her grain, Shviras Hamidais, to help Klal Yisrael. If we want, so here we see two going against one's grain. Esther's doing that, going against her grain, sitting with this Hitler. And the Aguna, who went against her grain, it's not natural to forgive somebody, to forgive her husband who embarrassed her and caused her so much pain all these years. And this was Shviras Hamidais, this went against her grain to help Klal Yisrael. And perhaps we could extend it to our own lives. A person doesn't want to do kindness, a person doesn't want to give tzedakah, and goes against his grain. It's hard, and nevertheless does it. That an individual in his own lifestyle can do so much and go against his grain and help the entire Klal Yisrael more than tefillas, as Reb Chaim Shmulevich explains, more than Hashem Elokim, more than Shema Yisrael. Perhaps a husband and a wife have to go against their grains in order to be able to have shalom bayis. And they would rather blow up at each other, and they control themselves, they go against their grains. In every aspect of our lives, Hashem should help us. We should be zeicha to realize that we all have in our power, with this great secret that Rabbeinu Chaim Shmulevich discovers in the Rashi in Masechta Megillah with Esther Hamalka. The Eibishter should help us. We should be zeicha that Klal Yisrael should be helped, and there should be a Yeshua to Klal Yisrael, as there was by Yomim Haim Bazman Hazeh. Amen.